Oh, shoot. You know what? I'll wait for everyone to get in, and then we will... Well, actually, I'm just going to do it now. Memorial. Hi, Raven. This is Raven. Ouch. All right, we're just going to do this. Hi, Easy. What's going on, buddy? The first one in here. Welcome, welcome. We're going to do some cards, and then maybe some beads, and then maybe finish with some cards. But I can't sleep. I've had a crazy week. I've had lots of bad news. Hi, how's it going? All kinds of stuff. And so I feel like if I'm feeling this way and these things are happening for me, it's kind of probably got to be a universal thing to a certain degree, especially with a lot of the astrological things that have been going on. Hi, Jamie. Hi, everybody. How's it going? So I feel like, okay, we'll get this out of the way. My job at the golf course is no longer because it got purchased by other people who want to hire their family and friends. So that's okay, but that was like, that hit my heart a little bit. And then Spandella, one of her dogs got hit by the car on the highway tonight, and so it's just been like a really heavy evening, and I just want to do something different. I just want to do something, well, not different, but like out of what I'm doing, which is sulking a lot, which is not good. So let's not do that, right? When it comes to readings, I think I'm going to do something a little different. If you want like a super personal reading or in-depth reading, we're going to have to do donated readings, paid readings, which obviously I'm not going to charge you out the butt. But and then I was thinking about doing a bunch of different things, but we'll get there. So we're going to open though with, I'll do a quick collective. So we're going to do just a general collective first, because it's been a while and I'm a little nervous, which is fucking weird. Oh, you can hear, oh, Raven, yeah, there you go, Jamie. Star of the show, the rave ski. And ignore the air fryer. I'm making food, I'm starving. Yeah, Easy, I'll tell her you said so. That's really sad. It's like a little family member even for me, right? So, missed you too. I'm glad it's nice. I'm happy you guys are here. Thanks for coming in. I know it's a weird time, especially because I haven't... Is that Beaner? Oh, just 1 second. Cats run my life around here. No, I don't sleep much either. Like I do, but if I sleep, it's really deep. It's insane. It's probably because I don't like sleep on a normal schedule like most people should. It's really bad for our internal clock and our immune system and all the other things that make us people and make us us, right? All right. It's been a while, you guys. I've really missed you. Raven. What are you doing? Ooh, okay. Got two right out the get-go. Right out the gates. So we have prosperity coming in. Here, sorry, I'm really bad for that. Prosperity. It's a beautiful card. This card reminds me of citrine, like the crystal, and it brings like joy, prosperity, abundance, wealth, things like that, or like just kind of a harmonious balance. Or if you have any kind of illnesses, that's usually good for kind of absorbing some of that for you. So is I would say any kind of quartz is really good for that. Anything that's an absorbent of the negative, right? Because we can carry toxins in our bodies like poison, and well, what creates the poison is the initial thing is an emotion that's not dealt with, or a trauma, things like that. So we do have wealth and good fortune, success, express gratitude by supporting others and their goal for their materials. So it's like, what you put out there, you're going to get back. So supporting others, success and growth is always going to be, a thing. Shorty just spewing. Yeah, it's a fucking show. And yes, I'm sober. Thanks for asking. Okay, and so we also have the decrease. So we're all kind of feeling, well, for the most part, having these two cards come out back to back, it's mostly you know, we're all feeling a decline in that wealth, that prosperity, that good health, that, you know, it's like a bunch of bad luck in a row. So, you know, and it makes you kind of, I guess, disassociate or pull back from connections and things like that, right? Uh, but it's important too also because we learn things that when we're going through this light and the dark, right? So I mean, you know, you have to make sacrifices for gain in a lot of ways, but being resourceful as well, right? So using your own smarts to get out of your own situations, whether it be internally or externally, because you can't control other people, right? I mean, it is what it is. Do I like Stranger Things? I watched like the first few episodes, but I don't follow it now so much. I don't really watch a lot of TV anymore. I used to. Okay, so we have the Joyous coming out and the Absymal. Okay, so this isn't really bad. This is all right, and it kind of makes sense for like kind of the energy that's going on. So I mean, finding happiness and delight, you know, kind of after the storm. So it's like going through a bunch of chaos and then sacrificing things, and you shouldn't have to sacrifice a ton of shit for people to fucking be in your life or anything like that, but I mean, it's not really even a sacrifice when it comes to just compromising, right? If you want someone in your life and you really do love or appreciate them and you want their connection, then you're going to have to do some of that give and take, right? But I feel like for the balance is hard to find because it's like an extreme here, right? We've got an extreme happiness and we've got the extreme downward, right? So it's finding and using your discernment to get to the right fucking, I guess, your happy medium, if as you would say. And I mean, finding happiness and joy and delight within yourself outside of those things. So, like that material wealth, it can be material things, obviously. But when it comes to these four cards, I'm the energy that I'm reading from everybody, and it's like I'm trying to find something within myself, is what, you know, the thought is like, that brings me joy. What sparks joy for me anymore? And trying to set aside and not be selfish when it comes to your time and your responsibilities, right? So it's like trying to balance the two, which is very, very hard. It's like trying to balance the mind and the heart. So, seems damn near impossible, doesn't it? For the most part. Okay. So we do have the creative coming out. So I feel like a lot of you have opened up to more of your creative side, or trying to, you know what I mean? Like getting into some groove or finding that spark, you know, it's like, oh, I used to do this. What made me stop doing this? What was the discouragement for me to stop doing such things? Or, you know, does this make me happy and I stopped doing it because someone else didn't care for it? Like, it's about just you for once, and that's okay. Like, you're allowed to be, it's not selfishness when you're also caring about your own fucking well-being. I mean, putting yourself on the list is almost impossible, especially if you're a parent or if you have, you know, care of anything, like a job that's very demanding, anything that demands your time, your energy, your effort. Your essence of you goes out the door every time you do so. So just make sure that that energy is kind of reciprocated. And if not, then it's time probably for that thing or that place or that person to go, right? I mean, hello, New Zealand. How's it going? Hi from Canada. Eddie, 6'7". So sick of fucking hearing that. My daughter's 13 and Anyway, no offense to you. So we do have the inner truth coming out. So I find with this, it's like, yeah, looking deep inside with like yourself and being unapologetic about like the things that you love to do and who you are is super important as well. I mean, and like the limitation. So letting others limit us is not good for our journey at all. You know, it's like throwing fucking salt on like the hockey rink. You know, it's just not going to work. So I'm really sorry that any of you are going through anything like this, but just know that it's not you by yourself. You know, there's lots of places, people, things that can help with these. Well, but really what it comes down to is stuff that we have to do a lot of the time inside, right? So it's like inner work and then it shows on the outside. And I know that that's very t-shirt slogan-y, and I'm not trying to be cliche. So anyways, I'll do bottom, we have splitting apart. So finding that you're just like splitting from yourself a little bit, you know, in the sense of disassociating, being uncomfortable in your own environment or anything that will make you kind of like run and hide in a sense of like you just disassociate, right? And rebuilding that and coming back from it is really difficult, but I mean, it's not impossible. And so the increase will come from, well, the increase in the belief in yourself, right? So, you know, just make sure that what you're doing makes you proud as well, because that's where the beauty and the magic is. You know what I mean? Just believing yourself, or believing yourself, do that too, but like believing in yourself. And it's fine to like gain, you know, guidance or advice from other people, but truthfully, it's inside of you, right? That intuition, that's what is instilled in us naturally to navigate these kinds of things, right? Properly or healthily or well, but it's almost impossible to do that, you know. And it's good to have a trusted circle, or, you know, like-minded people. So I hope that you have those things, and if not, I'm here for you. Okay, so this is the unknown animal oracle deck, and so this one I like to do a bit of an intuition test to involve everybody, but because I'm not doing a panel, it's kind of weird. I could ask the chat, it's totally fine. But so the first person to say stop, I'll stop, and then we're gonna go. It's all about animals, bugs, fucking, there's the odd like spiritual or like mystical thing in there, like a dragon eggs, things like that. So I'm gonna shuffle, you're gonna say stop whenever, starting now, and then we'll move. I'll tell you what to do next after. Yeah, Jamie, I can hug her for sure. Stop. Okay. So what I'm gonna ask you now is top, bottom, or middle card, and then you guys can have a go or a guess at, it's using your intuition. If you thought about it too long, like 1 second, that's too long. Your first thing that pops in your head, whether it's fucked up or not, this is a very open place to talk about those things. You're gonna say what you think it might be, okay? I don't have a prize to give, but you can have that just for yourself. You know what I mean? So top, bottom, or middle? Middle, okay, Jamie, middle. And what do you guys think it is? Oh my gosh, I want to give you the answer because I'm a Sagittarius so badly. Okay, so we're in the middle. What do you think it is? I'll give you guys a hint because it's hard. So, oh no, it would only work if you guys knew all of the knew this summer. So what is a common predator out in the mountains in Alberta where I live, like at the base of the mountains? What would be a common predator? It's not a toolbox, it's my bead box. Like I make jewelry, see, tons of it. I make tons of jewelry. So it's, no, not a cougar. Good freaking guess though, because that is one of our top predators out here for sure. It's a bead box, so I have all my beads and shit in it. Handy though, works. And yeah, it is in my kitchen. I don't have a big place, so actually, oh my gosh, that's another thing that happened is my fucking had another flood. So my kitchen flooded, had to tear up my kitchen floor. No, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So anyways, and you don't know until you ask anyways. But long story short, flood in the kitchen, still dealing with that cleanup, and then fucking flood in my back bathroom. So flood in that, oh God, it's just been so much, you guys, it's been insane. But I live in an older house and out in the country, and so it's been winter and it's just weird weather, so it's gonna happen, right? Nope, box coating. One more guess, you guys, you're missing like a main one. So some can climb trees and some can't. And they sleep most of the year, where I'm from anyway. Ooh, these are great guesses. Yeah, okay, the bear. There you go, guys. Oh shit, where'd it go? What did I just do? I lied to you. I lied to you. It's the most Canadian thing we have. I thought it was a bear because I didn't really look at it, but it's the fucking beaver. You know what? We can just laugh, okay? It's a beaver. I'm actually excited to read this because this fits very much with the reading. Oh my God, you guys can totally come at me later. I'm so sorry. It was ridiculous. Okay, so the beaver, look at this little guy, you know? He's like on a mission. He's just, what province? I'm in Alberta. Alberta. I'm from BC, but I reside in Alberta. That fucking dirty oil money. All right. I'd like to live somewhere warmer so I can golf all year round, because like I gotta golf hard for 2 months and then it's just snow everywhere forever. No, well, a state and a province are pretty much the same thing. They just have different names, right? Yeah. Okay, so are you guys ready for this? This is beautiful. So, hard worker, loyal, tireless, and family first. So we have, the beaver personality is a welcome sight. These good-natured and dependable creatures have infinite love and enthusiasm for family and express it by way of the earth element. So providing a home and financial stability and being a provider, being somebody who works themselves to the bone, but doesn't, well, they probably feel like they do, but in a sense it's like they're just natural duty, right? So it's just what they're born instilled to do. So it is exhausting, but it's not at the same time because you feel some purpose or fulfillment out of it, right? Although beaver doesn't usually initiate the project, once started, they'll work steadily for weeks, months, or years to see it through. The beaver card appears when the task at hand requires your long-term, steady effort. And it can also signify it's time for some, I guess, selfless service. So whatever that might be to you, right? And when in balance, happy, and produces meaningful work and puts the most of themselves into it, taking pride in the things that you do. And then when out of balance, feels useless or worn out, which makes sense because I think that that's the point where we're all kind of at right now. It's like no matter what you do or what we do, it's like, fuck, man, give me a break. You're not trying to feel pity all the time, but it's like things just become too heavy sometimes, and you just want to scream into a pillow or whatever the fuck it is you do for that, get to release it, because the buildup is intense. And carrying it is what causes those things that makes us ill, right? Or long-term health problems. So that being said, that really does fit with that though. So it's like, are you doing the work that you need to do to make yourself proud or make yourself feel happy while also still kind of trying to balance out, I'm providing for other people, and it's not all about, I guess it's that fine, weird line between selflessness and selfishness. You know what I mean? But I just want you to know that it is absolutely okay for you to worry about yourself just as much as others, because in the long run, if you're not at your best, how can you give to those that you love and the way that they need as well, right? We have to be healthy too, or else we can't give. And if we do, it's not our best is all. Okay. So we're going to do I would like to do the Literary Witch because it's one of my favorite decks. I don't really use it very often on here, but in everyday I do. And if I do personal readings, I like to sneak her in there for a little whiz. But, and then I'm going to do the tea leaves because I feel like it's nice to look forward to something. So what we're going to do, am I the first tarot card reader that's not a single mom? Actually, unfortunately, I fit into that category. But it is what it is. Shit happens with people and it just doesn't work out, so. Hi, Isaiah. How's it going, buddy? So I hope you're all having a good night. How was your day? Tell me a highlight. Tell me a down point. What do you want to talk about? You bite pillows? I live in the middle of nowhere, so just go outside and scream at the top of my lungs. Or go on my roof. Do that, but it's winter time, so I can't now. I'll slip a fall and break my neck. All right. Wow, got my hair in the cards. Homebound. Who's all in here? I feel like I'm missing out. Hey, Meg. We got history, nutshell. There's some new people in here. Hello, everybody, if you're new. I'm Prairie Page. I live in Alberta, Canada. Not anything special, but I do some cool shit sometimes, I guess. So here we are, doing that. I was drunk having fun on panel yesterday. Good job. There you go. I mean, I can. You know what? There isn't a lot of people in here tonight, you guys. It's not overwhelming. So if you want, and it's okay if you don't want to. Okay, so I will do a little smidge of a personal reading for people. But I mean, just don't forget there is a donation box, and I am not working right now because of the golf course selling. But anyways, long story short, you don't have to. That's why it's a donation, not a mandatory thing. So I'm happy to give you a personal reading. Just throw in a purple heart in the chat, and then I'll know where to go from there. I am going to pull just two to clear up this collective reading we're doing. Okay. Ooh. All right, so we have we have the Creature's Paw coming out. And I know it doesn't make sense right now, but I'll let you know in a minute. We have Yumiko Kurahashi. So this deck has like literary like significant women in history, if that makes any sense. And it's kind of obscure and it's kind of you know, a little bit dark. And then we have Merely coming out. I don't know if you guys know any of these names, but if you do, that's super cool. That means you're a smart cookie. These are short and sweet. I'll show you the little tiny book it comes with. I don't use books very often, but for certain decks, I like the meanings in them. And I mean, it does very much just intuitively reading. It does fit in with exactly what we're doing. I mean, these people created stuff out of nothing. And, you know, that's what we're all trying to do all the time, is just take what we have within us and put it out there and hope there's an outcome, you know? Anywho, never said that in my life. The fuck? I should have just done a panel so everybody could come up here and it would have been more interactive, but I'm also like, I don't have the patience to deal with the letting people up, putting people down, this, that, the pee bombing, and I don't know. Everyone's pretty respectful when they're here though, so I have to give them that. So Mary Shelley, yeah, so like transitions, the cycle of life. So just going through what we're going through right now definitely is an ascension or a transition or metamorphosis, if you will. Some sort of growing from something, a seed that was planted, you know, and it needs some water for sure. So, but attachment. So attachment to your old self or old patterns and behaviors too can be a thing. I mean, it is normally a thing when you're going through shit like that. And so Frankenstein isn't the garnish zombie story we've seen in pop culture, inspired by scientific discussions of the day and the complex feelings of Mary Shelley. So she was 1797 to 1851. She's an old bitch. So Had About Parenting is a painful tale about the creation of life and what happens to shunned, abandoned children. Her life was harrowing as her famous novel. Her greatest losses of mother, husband, and 3 children tried to ideals of her domestic harmony. So, you know, she's taken her pain and her experiences and her trauma and she's transmuted it into literature to learn, or lesson for others to learn from her story. And so, you know, writing or creating, which came out in the cards. I'm Scary Larry looking. Fuck you. Anyway, if you're here to be an asshole, get the fuck out. I'm not even playing. Like, this is a sacred place and I don't like that shit. Okay. So anyways, and I'm not in the mood for it. If you want to be petty and you want to be a child, go to another channel. I'm over it. So Yumiko Kurahashi, she's like another huge staple. You know, people who made a mark in history, you know, or opened up something that was, you know, not, it was frowned upon. Yeah. Anyways, let me try to find her. Am I missing a page in this little book? I don't think so. Yeah, like looking up some of these women, like they're pretty incredible. So this is all about transformation as well, like masks and becoming and play. So trying to find a more playful, creative side to express yourself, and or learning that you've outgrown certain situations that don't suit you, or where you're at in like your vibration, or your where you are right now in your life and what you expect or what people expect from you. And like having some fun. You don't have to be so serious about everything all the time. And like, you know, seeing who wears a mask, because that comes off, you know, the light, what is in the dark will come to the light. So anyways, 1935 to 2005, she's a badass of experimental fiction from Koshi Prefecture, is almost entirely unknown among English speakers. So she's influenced by French literature and bizarre stories featuring ghosts, flying heads, witch masks, incest, and bestiality. Her work will completely freak you out and provoke you with its fairy tale logic and philosophical underbelly. So she was a bit of a weirdo, you know what I mean? And it's funny that Buddy just decided to say what he wanted to say to me in the chat too. Yeah, some people are a little freaky, you know? But like, don't go judging what they look like, because you never know how cool they might be, right? And you're missing out if you don't like me. But to each their own, because I don't think anything bad of you. All right, so we're gonna put these aside, and did I miss Purple Hearts? Thanks, Jamie. You're totally rad. Okay, so who was first? I think Isaiah beat everybody. So Isaiah, then Jamie, and then we're just gonna go from there. We're gonna go from there. Thanks for being here, by the way. I'm really, really excited that you're all here. If you're new, totally cool to have you here. Nice to meet you as well. Sorry if I freak you out. Sorry if not everything is too precise. You know, if I don't qualify, but it's okay. I can be fun too. So let's do for Isaiah. Okay, so what's going to happen here is it's a little bit different than a collective reading. I'm going to tap in and I'm going to tell Isaiah what I see and what I feel when I'm channeling. And then I'm going to pull a few cards for him, okay? And that's just letting you know, if you're new, that that's kind of how I do it. That's the beautiful medium part of it, you know, in a sense of, or psychic without cards or tools. It's just what I do. Okay, so I'm definitely feeling that you've just gone through a huge shift of some sort within the home. I feel like there's a relationship stuff connected to that. I feel like there's some feud between, I guess, maybe if you were with somebody for a long time, there might be, a good example would be, hey, my, like, I guess in-laws or some shit like that. I'm feeling like you're feeling a little place wherever you're at right now, which I don't know if it's even anywhere. Like, I feel like you feel like a vagabond a little bit right now, and like you're kind of just in no man's land. And I feel like there was something that built up to this, and it was like you kind of seen it coming, but like you were so comfortable that you didn't pay attention to it, or vice versa, or both, you know what I mean? And that happens. Or that, you know, you both can become consumed by other people's opinions or whatever the fuck it might be. But there's a lot of influence. What I'm seeing is there's a lot of outer influences to whatever's going on right now. I do feel like there's some success that is very much on the horizon. And I think that you are trying your best to, or what you think is best to rebuild what has kind of maybe faltered a little bit. So whatever's going on right now has had a big impact on your intellectual kind of maturity and your emotional maturity. And I feel like also if you're a business owner, the success is coming from this, but it's also like the love and okay, so stop page, hold on. Your love life and your fucking career are somehow connected in a weird way, but it's because I think that how you are as a person, it's like you put all of your heart in everything you do anyways. And so that is like they're connected with success, if that makes any sense. It's like when you're feeling good in one area, you shine everywhere else too. But if you're feeling not good in one area, it really affects everything else too. So there's a lot of extremes in your life, like extreme happiness or extreme not happiness. You know what I mean? Like you're trying to find that middle balance. Oh, there's little dickheads in here, isn't there? Little motherfuckers in here. Isaiah, am I on the right track? If not, it's okay. But like usually I'm not super wrong. Are you still here? Anyways, so I do feel like there's a lot of turmoil, but it's not really even caused by. But it just happened over time. Like I feel like it was a slow, gradual build, which for a Sagittarius is weird. Like usually that's where the extremes come in, and I understand that for you. But I don't understand the part where it's like, have you been sacrificing a ton of yourself and like there you're like, you're just drained, man. And it's like whatever you were doing and you were giving, eventually you were like, I'm gonna give whatever, I'm just gonna give you the same fucking energy you give me. And then they didn't like that. So they were like, oh, well, start complaining about it. And it's like, well, what, because things aren't comfortable for you anymore? It's like, that's what it is. It's like people are out for their own best interests, which is fine, but it's not fine when you're in a relationship. It's not fine when you have a home together. It's not fine when you're in that kind of union. It's not pish posh tish tish. It's fucking, this is serious shit. And I know that freedom looks good because you're like you're at the point where you're kind of just evaluating your options. It's like, I love this thing, person, place, whatever it might be, but I also know that I could be happier elsewhere because that person, place, or thing isn't going to change said action or behavior, right? And so you're not wanting to fall back into old patterns, but you're also not wanting to lose this thing. Okay, so you're kind of at a crossroads right now. Yeah, and I feel really bad because it's like, what? Yeah, go ahead. So you're kind of at a point where you're just like, you almost like, I see you just kind of sitting there looking at the sky almost. I mean, like, I'm not really a huge religious person, but I might pray. Or like, just trying to find some sort of fucking grounding or thing to like just stabilize the situation, if that makes any sense. Okay, and so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with, I'll just pull a couple of, well, do I need that? Yeah, I'm gonna pull a couple of these. This is a Teo Zen. It's what we started with on the other, like, collective reading. This one's just kind of good to point out, like, you know, I guess clarify. All the cards are gonna do is clarify the shit I just spit. So these ones are good for, like, you know, connecting with the emotional state. And, you know, there's other cards in here that are good for, like, healing advice. There's just, everything has a place and a purpose. And it's funny that I said that because that's what I think about you right now. It's like you're trying to figure out where everything's place is in your life and its purpose and if you need it or not. You know, it's like you're weeding your garden. You're cleaning out your attic. And that's where good things come in. Like, that's where you're making room for shit to come into your life. And remember this, you guys. The universe only knows one answer, and it's yes, okay? And it only knows two other things, positive and negative. So it depends on what we feed. Like, we're always going to get the things we want or don't want because it's like that's what we are mentally focusing all of our energy and attention on, right? So, no, I'm not pulling Pokemon cards, but I have some if you want me to. I can try to divinate that way too. Whatever floats your fucking boat. So anyway, here we go. So these are for Isaiah. Let's see what we've got for him. Hopefully some resolve. I'm just gonna take a big breath. I feel like you're getting emotional right now, and that's okay because it's necessary sometimes when you're supposed to, like, when you're doing these things. And then I didn't mean to call you out, but you know, I know you don't give a shit anyway. All right. Ooh, okay, right out the gates. I love this. So we have the cauldron, Isaiah. And this is about, you know, inner alchemy and mastery, like your spiritual renewal. So, you know, the coming of you, like, it's like you're at a point in your life where you're kind of doing a transition, right? We're in the sense of like a spiritual transition and a thought pattern transition. You're just trying to find what works for you because some shit just hasn't fucking been working, okay? And that's understandable, and I'm really proud of you for using your discernment for figuring some of this stuff out, right? Not a lot of us have that ability and rely on others for that, which is okay to a certain extent, right? But so, you know, containing and rejuvenating. So in discerning wisdom, you're taking parts of what you've learned in all of these years and implementing them like a reference. It's like, what you want, what you don't want. You know, you're kind of making a pros and cons list. So we have the resoluteness. So determination, you're very determined, and I know that. You're a Sagittarius, nothing will stop you, by the way. No compromises. Okay, so that's what I was speaking about earlier. The compromises. I said this very thing. You're trying to find a way to make this work, but you're getting nothing back but kind of like backlash, I think. You're getting a half empty cup when you give a full cup. Does that make sense? And so you're determined to not feel like this ever again, whether it's like an inner resolve, or which starts with us. So yes, inner resolve, and then the outer benefits from it. But then we have, you know, like it's testing your character. It's so much going on that you're like, I don't know who the fuck I am right now, and trying to find that too, right? Which you did know. And when our whole life gets swept out from under us, it's natural to feel this way, you know? Self-examination, whereas, like, you know, sitting alone and contemplating and doing that inner work is definitely where your mind will go. You know, you're gonna think about what you do and what you put out that's good for people and not for people, or for yourself, correct? And then we have the retreat. So I feel like that's kind of what you're doing right now. I feel like that's more your current, you know, a timely departure, letting go, withdrawing, you know, reevaluating your situation, retirement. You're not hesitating to walk away from anything that's not serving you. And not even that you're like, oh, I'm a brat, I need this, I need that. No, it's like, it's reciprocation, it's equality, right? All my cats one's over here, one's on the floor. They're everywhere. I have 5 of them. You know, and Isaiah, I feel like it's okay, whatever I know where I can see you right now, but like, I'm not gonna out you, but I feel you have my love and my support, whatever you decide, because things have to be fair. You know what I mean? It can't be all about one person. It just can't. That's just not what, that doesn't work. Okay, these cards are done. So I'm gonna move and I'll pull you one of the animal cards too. And then I'll do some tea leaves for you so you can get like a future kind of outlook, you know? All right. Reevie, don't do that. She's playing with like a pipe cleaner thing. Rose that Grace made. That's cute. Ooh. I feel like there's somebody, like, this is weird, Isaiah, but I can't not say it because I'm not one to like lie or sugarcoat. It's not what you want to hear. Is there somebody new on one side or the other? Like, that's because I keep getting like a smack in the fucking head with like a doof. There's another person, there's another energy. And like, I can feel it. So I don't know if it's you. I don't think it's you. I really don't, but I'm not trying to say anything about the other person either. I just know that there's definitely love involved and there's definitely other energies involved, and it's a bit of a mess. So you got the elephant, which is interesting, but very fitting. All right. See what the Elefante has to say to Isaiah. Oh, I love when it opens right up to it. It's the best. So unstoppable and wise and auspicious. So the elephant is arguably the most auspicious figure in the deck. Like Ganesh, the elephant represents wisdom as well as good fortune. That's great. You know, and I know that that's in you. Like, you're a fire sign. It's kind of just instilled in you, and we have a hard time balancing that, like helping other people, giving too much, you know, and that's a huge thing, and I think you're learning that discernment, right? So it is said that the great elephant is the destroyer of obstacles. So if this card appears when you feel stuck, rest assured the path will soon become clear. To add to the mystery, the elephant is also known to create obstacles in order to steer us in the right direction. So just stopping for a sec. So it's like, okay, the universe is going to make us uncomfortable. I call it a spiritual cattle prod. And it's like the universe is going to make you feel uncomfortable to move you out of your comfort zone that you wouldn't naturally do on your own. And for your highest good and what you need and probably deep down want, you know what I mean? Because we do manifest these things. Anyways, so to add to the mystery, the elephant is also known to create obstacles and to steer us in the right direction. So trust this gentle, noble creature. It illuminates the way of light of self-knowledge, which is kind of the place you're in right now. Like, you're just learning a lot. You've learned a lot about other people, and you're learning how it benefits you or doesn't, and not in like a negative way. It's just like, if you don't have my back, get the fuck out of here. If you do, like, let's go, you know? So when in balance, it's one point of focus and generous and loving. So when out of balance, it misunderstands fate. So like just questioning everything, right? And then like to bring it into balance is trusting in yourself, all of that stuff, right? I feel like it's, come on, buddy. What are we coming on about? Oh, this is why I don't go live anymore. I don't know if I have the patience for it anymore. I'm getting too old or... Anyways, so we're going to do a few tea leaves for you. And I feel like whatever comes out of this message tonight will help you, but you already know the answer. Like, you already have it inside of you. All of you do, actually. You know what I mean? But it's nice to hear it from someone else because it hits different, and it's a little bit of clarity that somebody believes in what you believe in or what you're going through and understands it, right? So we have the Hand, which is in need of help, assistance, and guidance, which is what you're doing right now, so good for you. And dealings or relationships with a woman. I fucking knew it. You're going through a breakup, aren't ya? So we got good news coming, though. I think you've been waiting for something to show. I feel like this good news is attached to your love situation. But someone is going out of your life, or a situation is like it's putting it in the casket. You know, it's just putting something to bed or to rest forever that's not fucking working, or has been just kind of diminishing yourself in a lot of ways, or your life, like quality, you know? It's like depleting your fucking oxygen levels, breathing too much of your air in a negative way and filling it with nothing but, you know, gas. So we do have advice from a friend, okay? So that's good. I mean, it's just clarifying a lot of shit I said, which I know is annoying, guys, but Isaiah, I don't know if you're gonna take a vacation, and it doesn't have to be like extravagant, but like, are you going somewhere to free your mind a little bit? Are you going to the woods? Are you going camping? Are you going to visit somebody? Are you getting yourself out of your fucking environment to go just like clear your mind? You know what I mean? Rejuvenate yourself, refresh, replenish. I go to the mountains for that. Like, I go camping, I do that kind of shit. You know, I just, like, for me, that's the best. Don't you care anymore? Talking to your ex again. I figured. Good advice from a wise person. This is crazy. This is like, I've never had all those come out in the same time. Like, there's a lot of like, listen to what is being told to you. I don't know. You're not one to like ask advice either. So it's not like you're going and seeking it, but maybe you're supposed to, like, to a certain degree. I feel like talking to mutuals between you guys that you can trust, which is hard to find, I know. There might be some underlying information, and it might not be as negative. I mean, I don't want to give her ex credit, but like, just maybe it's not the worst shit you need to hear. So if she does say, hey, I want to talk to you, maybe you should just talk to her, give her the microphone, let her say what she has to say, and then you know, then you can respond, because that kind of cuts out the whole interruption of trying to communicate what you're getting across, and also like the immediate like tit for tat or fighting, you know, or you did this then and that. It's just, write a letter to her. Like, I mean, I sometimes when I can't communicate with somebody, I will write a letter or something, and you know, because then you're not in the like the space of the energy when they're reading that, right? It's like, it gives them a minute to process it. It's not your fucking dumb face saying it. They don't want to hit you. Like, there's a lot of built up like animosity or like resentment when it comes to trying to communicate with, especially an ex, you know. But if you know that person, which you probably do very well, of course, just give them the microphone and hear them out. Try to understand where they're coming from, and then put your input in, but also tell them that you expect the same respect that you just gave them, right? Because it's not fair for you to do that and them not hear you out. So pay attention to your finances. I'm not sure if she's connected to your finances, but if you've been together and have a home and stuff like that, I feel like there's some major challenges that you need to like that overcome, or that she's gonna have to overcome not having you as a provider, you know, or whatever she provided too, which, you know, let me just get a month. I want a date. Can I have a date, please? Oh my gosh. Okay, so we do have a wish granted will be coming. So whatever work that you're putting into this is like, okay, well, you're definitely you're gonna see some benefits, some merit, because you're doing so much work on the inside, right? Where it counts and it matters. And then it will kind of just illuminate the rest of your life. So we have Torch, which is, you know, spiritual development and enlightenment and awareness and understanding. So you're not going in anything blind, like you're not dumb. And then the Peacock. So beware of your pride, though. You know, just be careful. Be careful of your pride, fella. Because like love and affection and like deep caring, there's a lot of depth in this. And I feel like you guys have been together for quite some time. I feel like also it was something where you guys grew together. It's like you maybe were younger when you met. I don't know. Either way, we all grow together when we're, well, you know, we kind of take on roles or parts of each other. And so when that comes to an end, we also feel incomplete when we don't have that rest of us. What that's the rest of us is, you know, the shit we pick up from that person. I do want to say that, like, there is people interested in you, but you're not entertaining it. Just know that if you ever choose to open that door, that, you know, there's good things waiting behind it as well. But there is definitely a undertone of reconciliation in this for me. But don't back down from opposition and show strength and fortitude. So this kind of also clarifies that maybe there's another energy on her side that has kind of caused a rift or whatever this was. Caused her to think that the grass might have been greener. Ooh, firecracker. Excitement. All right, so you're definitely due for some excitement. I think you need to, it's hard for you as a business owner and going through what you're going through to kind of like choose yourself, but like it's okay to go and have a little bit of fun, you know, Isaiah. It's okay for you to meet new people, man. Like I feel like it's important for you to do that. I don't know why I keep hearing that. And they're like, tell them to meet new people. Okay, because there will be plenty of abundance, right? And like pleasure with a close friend. Okay, so start getting together with people, you know, and like you don't have to share everything that's going on in your life. Like nobody needs to know everything, but don't be scared to go be yourself, like your full self, you know what I mean? Unapologetically your full self. Because there's good things coming. Like, you're supposed to go hang out with friends, and you're supposed to do certain things, you know, but I know you know that, so me telling you is kind of dumb, you know. Like, you're so smart. I know you're intuitive yourself, you know. These are things, but hearing it from someone else. So, you know, you have obstacles to overcome, and you know that once you do, it'll bring peace and harmony. I mean, like, I'm gonna end it there. But I mean, I love you. I hope that everything works out. But if that resonated, give me a thumbs up, I guess, you know? And if you really liked it, there's a donation button. But thanks for letting me read your energy. It was like, it was a pleasure. Anytime, actually, anytime. All right, Jamie, are you ready? Miss Jamie. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. I feel bad. I didn't even check if anyone else is live. I didn't want to, like, intrude in that, you know, take over or anything. It's also, like, strange. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning here, so probably not. All right. Let's get these moved over. You reported the stream to my parents? I'm 35 and a mother, so go right ahead. And also, my mom's dead, so have fun with that. Good job. Hope you feel great about yourself. Thanks for bringing up my parents. Fucking asshole. All right. Jamie. Okay. Ravy, you can be part of Jamie's reading. Oh, we're going to just get right into this first this way. So, Jame, I feel like you've gone through, like, a huge separation of self when it comes to, like, okay, this is a weird way to put it. It's like you've left certain parts of you behind, or outgrown certain situations or places or things or people, but you've also reconciled or kind of completed a circle of like, you've got closure, but it's also rejuvenated or a new chance at a connection, if that makes sense. So I can see, like, a lot of turmoil, but I do see that, like, you know that there's light at the end of the tunnel. And I feel like I know you personally, so this is hard, but it's like you get down on your, and it's not your fault. Like, you know, you don't intentionally try to upset people or anything, you know. It's like, but people find that, hey, I'm gonna take her kindness for weakness, you know, those kinds of things. And it's like, you just feel drained. You feel exhausted when it comes to just trying to, like, give to everybody else. And this seems to be quite a theme. And like I said, that's why, like, you know, starting this with the collective reading and it coming out as in, like, you know, all of us trying to put in some fucking serious dedication and hard work. Not only for ourselves, but, you know, for our environment and for our fucking people that we love. But you can burn out, you know, there's the burnout that comes with that. And then it's also like, whenever you're feeling low, you know, negative energy can seep in, and that's the most vulnerable, like when you're most vulnerable. And then that's what's like embeds kind of those thoughts or like those feelings that are not of your own in a sense. But I know you have, like, you know, there's certain parts of you that are very spiritual and very, you know, open to stuff. And so, like, you can be affected by it. It's not that for anything new, you know, like, you already know this. I do feel like there's something going on with a family member. I don't know if it's your mom or something. It's definitely a family member. It's somebody that you trust, that you love, that you're close to, that's actually blood. And I feel like they're really affecting, like, when you're feeling down, they just kind of make you feel worse. It's not like they don't make you feel better. Like, so, you know, it'd be kind of them to come in and say, hey, do you want advice or do you want comfort? You know, because sometimes we don't want fucking advice. Sometimes we just want comfort, or vice versa. And so it's really, yeah, and you're dealing with a lot. Like, you just recovered from a serious injury, a very traumatic experience. And you know, those kinds of things don't go away overnight. Like, are you, I do see you getting the correct, like, help, I guess, or entertaining the idea of doing that, but also don't want to, it's like, okay, well, I want to go to therapy because I think might need it, but I also don't want to be like not taken seriously, or pay for another thing that's not going to help me, and like that's a hard thing because what you've gone through, there is outlets, but finding the right support group, because having the right support is, or sorry, I'd rather have no support than the wrong kind, you know what I mean? And that's where it's sitting. And I feel like you've really, really distanced yourself from things that used to make you feel good, because you've realized that you don't really have a place there, because you've elevated, like you've come to a different elevation in your life where the people with low vibrational energy aren't able to like meet you there, and then that becomes a problem too. You know what I mean? And so you're kind of just at a standstill. You're kind of just like waiting for something to shift, because no matter what you do, you get the same outcome. It's like insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different outcome. So it's just kind of like, fuck. You're just like, fuck, what do I do? My advice, I care about you a lot. So it's just, well, let's be real. So there's something going on within like a friendship too that's still a problem, and it's not what was before. That's what I'm hearing. It's a different situation completely, but it's like you cleared up that one situation and now it's like, fuck, now there's another one. Like it's just, you feel like it never ends, correct? Like, okay, so we'll clear the energy. Sorry, it was loud. Okay. Okay, clearing the energy, clearing the cards, inviting a new. Let's do it. Ready? Ready. Okay. Oh, dirty. Just a minute. All right, Jim. All right, guys. It happens. Spirit likes to fuck with me just as much as everybody else. So we do have like the increase. So whatever is like you feel like you're losing, you're gonna gain from it in your own way. Like it's not a loss, is what I'm hearing. Like it's not a loss. Like go outside and smell the flowers kind of thing. Like they're just get a new idea of, or new perception of what's going on. Good morning, Sandman. How are you? What's up? What's up? So like, and reaping rewards, and like you're very good with like sharing. So if you have like an overabundance of something, you're like, I'm so happy to give even if I don't. But especially like you do have some good things coming, but be more frivolous. Like don't be selfish. Just like, the abundance, just know that some of it is for you and it's okay to keep a little bit, right? Like I would imagine that you're going to have some sort of settlement. I hope that the settlement comes in and that it's beneficial for you, because you've been through an awful lot. Yeah, so like, we have like the abundance coming in right after the increase. So this is beautiful. And I don't know if the number 42 means anything to you, or 55, but those are definitely, very significant angel numbers as well, or could be an age. But we do have, generosity, it's a good time to plant some seeds within yourself or whatever the fuck it is that you want to grow, right? And nourish it properly, because right now you're at a standpoint where it's like you're not distracted by other things, so you have the focus to just give to yourself right now. Because once you're full top-notch Jamie, then nothing can fuck with you. You know what I mean? It's like, and then good things come in. Manifesting's hard to do, and it's not. And spirituality isn't love and light all the time. Like there's a lot of dark shit that comes with this, and yeah, the obstacles, this is kind of where you're at right now, I feel like. And unfortunately, just knowing that there is always a rainbow at the end of the storm is very t-shirt cliche thing for me to say, but it is absolutely true. A lot of the things that get in our way is us, and it sucks, but it just allows us to do a little work and like fine tune. It's like fine tuning a guitar, if you will. You're gonna get the right tune, the right frequency. Wow. Okay, so we have revolution. Awesome. So coming out of this, Jamie, there's gonna definitely be, and that's a beautiful card. Like the revolution of you, coming out, you're diving deeper into the well of definitely your emotions and observing others and how they react and what your actions do to a trigger, whatever it might be, to others as well. Like you're being very mindful, right? Of like others, and this is a lesson for you right now, is being mindful of others and yourself. So the balance in between, right? And like the marrying maiden. So kind of being locked in or feeling like you're locked in or imprisoned within certain feelings or within certain cycles or behavioral patterns of others and yourself. And so like that's what I mean by the discernment, right? So in a compromising situation, so finding a compromise in between, you know, you and someone else, or you and like just compromise in general with a lot of things, right? But I feel like, you know, succumbing to seduction or manipulation will, like, you know, don't go into anything with low self-esteem, because the outcome of that vulnerability with certain people with bad intentions can create a less desirable outcome for you. Does that make sense? And then like this is beautiful. So like you have development, like you're developing certain things with inside yourself, right? That will you be able to implement the rest of your outer world. And then grace. That's beautiful. So you have the grace card coming out, and that's like adornment and bringing out beauty and elegance of your inner self. You know, you're going to show a different side of yourself to people when you do kind of make that big comeback, if that makes any sense. Okay, we'll pull an animal card for you and some tea leaves after. I just got really hot all of a sudden. Holy smokes. It's been, that's weird. Somebody turning the heat up under you, James? Trying to anyway? Okay. Ooh. Like, I'm really hot. Are you guys, like, all of a sudden? No, I guess we're, like, a million miles away, but you know what I mean? I just got, like, oof, as soon as I went to go get into your cards, it's like you're just in a fucking fire, like a furnace. Is that what's burning inside you? Like, are you angry? Or do you need to let go of some stuff? Because we can work on that. But just give me 1 second. It's like fucking open the window and shit. It's hot in here. She hot. Actually, I need to grab this too. I'm gonna grab something from my room. 1 second. Okay, Jamie, super weird question, but did you get a new pet? Like, are you considering getting a new animal? Like, I don't know why I just thought that for a second. Or, like, there's something that you're trying to decide on, and I feel like it's, before I pull the animal card, are you trying to decide on getting a new pet? Or, like, something for comfort? Because I feel like you're feeling a little bit alone right now. You are? Okay. It's not like a hamster or guinea pig, is it? Are you trying to getting a new cat? There's something significant about this. Or like, are you saving some animal? Like, that would be the biggest reason why you would probably do that. Maybe not, I don't know. But there's some sort of connection to that. And I'm hearing, yes, you should definitely go for it. But just make sure you're in like the right energy when you go pick up this pet. Or when you bring this pet into your life, make sure that there's like a right, you open the right doors for it, right? You saved, okay, that's what I thought. Because I can't see you just being like, hey, I need to go get a new pet because I'm having a midlife crisis. You know what I mean? You're like, okay, there's some purpose to this. So I feel like you saving this animal is also going to assist in saving you in certain ways. Does that make sense? And it's like, you're being very much encouraged to do so, but I feel like your mom might not want you to get this pet. Just saying. I'm not sure if I'm wrong, but like, I feel like there's this, like, that might be the family member you're having turmoil with over something. This might be what it's about. Yeah, okay. Just ask. All right. One more and we're ready to go. Interesting. I'm seeing a hummingbird. So when I think about the hummingbird, especially in this deck, it's like, those are like little spiritual, like enlightenment kind of like moments where it's like, okay, well, I breathed this air and I just felt different. Or like the significant moments, you know, where it's like, or you close your eyes and you can still see like this berries to drop out on you. Got this like little thing that's actually a candy dispenser, but it has a thing that's wide enough for me to put in and have my phone stand up perfectly. So it's kind of like a triple whammy. Okay, James. You're gonna, okay, I have to take this one for you because if you're here, hopefully you're back here. Yeah. Okay. Because the bee, and like you'll know why this is adorable. I'll just wait and make sure she's here. So sorry, didn't mean to. I just my phone died. Cheers, I guess. Oh, I missed my whole mouth. That's embarrassing. Oh well, we're fine. There's been worse things than my life that have happened. Jamie, are you here? Jamie. Anyways, so Jamie, we have the bee. And I think that that card is obviously very beautiful, but also more fitting than anyone really knows except for maybe you and me. And I'll read you the bee. And I've had some requests to do like a live for making jewelry. So I think after the, you know, this reading, I might take a little break and then we'll, hey, and then we will, yeah, we'll probably take a break, do some beading, and then maybe another reading to end it off. But I don't want to be on too long. And I just realized too, like on here, I can have, if I don't want to do like a StreamYard panel, that I can definitely, the video quality is not good. Probably not. I live in the middle of nowhere and I have terrible service. So yeah, I do one-on-one readings. Of course I do. I just do like a private reading is a little bit more personal and vulnerable and in depth. And so I do those, do one-on-ones, yeah. I just don't like to do that, like go right deep on here because it's not for everybody. You know, it's not for everybody's knowledge what's going on in your life or whatever you're not wanting to share, you know? They don't need to know everything. So where is my Jamie? Are you here, hun? Again, sorry if you were here before and I just dropped out. My phone died. It's very annoying. Plus, I have terrible service, so I just try my best with what I got out here. We can't even get Wi-Fi, so just be grateful, I guess. I don't know. So, earnest, hardworking, and democratic. The bee personality is a delight to be around, especially when there's a team project on the horizon. Bees love to work steadily, thoughtfully, until the final task is complete. They are sensitive creatures aware of many subtleties at once. Since they're artists at heart, they usually like add creative details to their overall vision. So just, you know, putting your personal touch into everything that you do is well, that's what you do. And don't forget that. Like that's where, you know, you're so important to so many people and places. Like you do so much work for, well, for yourself, for your mom, like you're just a go-getter, you know, and there's nothing that you wouldn't do for anybody. So I mean, I guess sometimes it's like hard to say, well, unrealistic expectations cause disappointment. So I'm not saying your expectations are unrealistic. I'm just saying an example, you know, you're not going to be able to fulfill something I've made up in my head about you or for you to fulfill. Does that make sense? That therefore I'm disappointed? Like that's my problem. That's not your problem. And so I feel like, and even in relationships, that's a huge thing. It's like the unrealistic expectations or trying to date somebody's potential, you know, or of what you see or what you know is inside of them. That's hard. That's a hard place to be. Whether it's, you know, a romantic relationship, family member, it's a connection in general. Anyways, so you're sensitive creatures aware of many subtleties at once, and since you're an artist at heart, you usually add part of like creative details to the overall vision of your essence. Like for the most part, you know, having bustling, joyous personalities, like a big happy personality, very loud, like not loud, like you can be loud, but like, you know, your energy's loud, your energy's big and joyous, and people are attracted to it like a beacon of light, you know. So, but like the burnout, back to the burnout, you know, a bee too, it's like until you're too tired from all the work and then, you know, you're gonna gripe and sting. It's anybody's like that, you know, every single person has a point of their limitations or their draining point, their crash out point, whatever you want to call it. So when in balance is, you know, content and active and vibrant and like, you know, happy to be so or do so and spread that joy. But when out of balance, you know, you can feel overworked and annoyed. Like things will just trigger you. And it's like not that you're, even if you're doing something that you love or that you do every day, it's routine, that also can cause, you know, a lot of irritation. That monotonous everyday thing where it's like back to forgetting ourselves, you know, forgetting where we have to exist on that fucking to-do list somewhere. And it's not fair to be always at the end of it so that you never ever get to it by the time you're so darn tired. You know, like those things are real and it sucks. Why do you want me to cut my hair? It's odd. It's an odd thing to say. No, I'm not going to cut my hair. I don't want to, if that's, you know, respectfully. Okay, James. So, that being said, I still love that the bee came out for you. That's really, really cute. What an odd request. Well, actually, it's not the oddest request I've ever gotten, but, like, it's definitely up there. I don't really look good with short hair. I've had short hair. I actually have alopecia, so my hair has all fallen out at one time in my life. So no, I don't want to go bald again. Thank you. Jamie, we have April coming out. So whatever significance April has is, it's not a game, hun. We're just doing a little bit of a reading. So April is significant either, you know, past, present, or will be current in the future, or, you know, a birthday, anything that's significant with that date. We have the parrot coming out. So someone is definitely, you know, behind your back telling your secrets and just kind of using like your own shit against you, or kind of just causing turmoil. Someone's gossiping, you know, and or beware of greed. So if you're coming into, say, some money or something, like I watch everybody, family members, friends, just make sure that you use your discernment. Oh, well, thank you for liking my hair. So we have September coming out as well. September and April. So keep those kind of like logged in your brain. I feel like there's like that, like, are you still gonna, like, April, that always comes out for you. So, and like now that I'm thinking about it, every single reading I've ever fucking done for you has definitely had April come out. Is like, I know that there was supposed to be some sort of settlement, but I feel like it's been like prolonged still, and that you have to keep going back to it for some reason. So taking a vacation physically or mentally. So kind of just standing by and like watching everything happen around you, taking it in and using it for your advantage, and not in a negative intent way, but like just kind of pushing yourself forward through these situations so that they're not so difficult, and navigating it in a healthy way, you know, and like other people can look up to you for that too once you go through it, right? Or you can share your knowledge or your experience and people can learn from it. So we do have an arrogant, boastful person that you might want to watch out for, but I actually don't think that this is any new, like this isn't new for you to hear. And I think that you're already aware of who it is. And like, so, but okay, listen to me. All of this stuff that you're going through, in the end, the only thing that is going to happen for you, and I'm happy to tell you this, is finally like putting some things to rest, you know, kind of like ending certain connections for good, and then bringing, you know, new enterprises, new birth of, you know, ideas, or just the new, bringing in the new. Like it's time for you to have some like like fresh air, you know what I mean? Like it just feels stagnant and stale for you, and it's just, you know, you can open the window, you just got to do it kind of thing. So new opportunities, possibilities, and like new pathways opening up. As soon as you do that, just open that window, you know, or like open that door so that things can get in. And I mean, not negative stuff, because it's time to close that door, but, you know, and I feel like, you know, just doing some saging in the house too, or like, you know, some salt around like windows. And I mean, I know that's witchy kitschy shit, but I'm still a witch, so it is what it is. You know, some white salt, like just make sure that you bless it in your hand, like you give it your own intention, and then you just set it there. Like just make sure that you keep yourself protected, because as an empath, things are attracted to you and they're going to come no matter what, you know. But just keeping some of the more negative you know, spirits or entities or things like that away is just doing your due diligence, right? Because I mean, you're happy to help the ones that don't have harm to come to you, right? And even though it is spooky, I get it. I've been doing it my whole life. These ones don't want to talk for you. which is weird because they're such messy cards. They're just like little Pokemon, or like Pogs. That's what I was thinking of. Pogs or coasters. There we go. So a period of like, you're kind of going through, and people are causing this, a period of ill health or a little bit of depression. And I mean, actually, I will say this again, as a collective, I feel like everybody is sort of at their breaking point a little bit with things in their life, and myself included. It is just a huge, everybody's going through kind of a huge shift, and we just had a huge moon cycle go through that was very significant. And yeah, and it's draining. Like, either you're going to feel really, really energetic and burn out quick, or like, you know, I think that the only fuel that most of us have lately, if I might say, and be so bold to say, is our fucking, the stress that feeds it. Like, the stress of like, oh, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, my to-do list, I gotta get on that, I don't have this for that, I don't, you know, it's like that constant worrying is like the only fuel that's feeding things anymore. It's it gets a little tiring, so I understand that. Yeah, 100%. It's like we drive ourselves fucking insane, but everything else has like an effect on that, and or us on it too, right? Okay, so I'm gonna take these and then I will move along. There's quite a few, but I think you need to hear it, and it's been an awful long time since I've come up on, since I've done anything really on here. So getting together with friends. I do feel like it's super important. I know that you're more of, you know, an introvert and you don't really like to go out and be in the spotlight and shit, but like, just go out and enjoy yourself. Like, go out and have like a nice cocktail, or fucking go out for like the Olive Garden or some pasta. Like, just go do, I don't even leave. Just have people over, have a fire. Like, there's just so many, you could bead, craft, you could paint. I mean, we could have me and you a video chat, and we could do a craft or something together. Like, just let's make sure that you get out of that. I want you out of your head. Get out of there. There's air out here. So we have the Weeping Willow. So some family sorrow. But you've been going through this for quite a time, and so it's just kind of signifying for me. I'm not taking this as like a prediction. I'm taking this as like a resolve. You know what I mean? It's time to just, you know, just going through. Aw, yeah, I can do a quick reading for you as well after this. I'm just about finished with Jamie. And yeah, see, if you resonate with any of these readings, it's okay. You can take what resonates and claim it for yourself, and leave what doesn't suit, you know, or doesn't fit. Don't try to make something that doesn't fit. But also, it's like, it's okay. Like, these readings are kind of, it's for everybody, right? Even though it's, you know, this is Jamie's reading. We all have, you know, can relate or resonate to certain things. And so, yeah, just, it's open. You can take it too, right? So anyways, we do have the shark. So I mean, like, taking care of like certain things so that there isn't material loss, or, you know, like, or emotional, like, I guess an empty emotional gas tank, right? Like, sharks, what is that? I mean, it sucks that, you know, sharks have that bad reputation, or that perception that we have of sharks. But I mean, logically, if there's blood in the water, and if you're vulnerable, which means you're kind of wounded or low on your, you know, your energy's low. Like, that's what I mean by vulnerability. Like the things will come in, negative energy, or it's easier to be attacked, right? And we know this. It's just, it's tale as old as time. You know, and a marriage will take place, either romantic or business. I actually don't think that right now you're interested at all in like dating anyone. You've had a bad taste left in your mouth from like the last go around with somebody, and I feel like it might be a new, I think so, by come April. Actually, that's insane. So come springtime, like, I guess it's spring for me, but maybe not for you, but like, so springtime will be soon. And I feel like that is like, you know, the time of fucking the birth of many new things, and like a new like cycle of the season. And so I feel like you have an internal spring coming to you, right? And like, also you have there's something inside of you that needs to shift. I think it's a thought pattern. Once you do that, you're going to 100% benefit, because that is like the one block. It's just like constantly hitting, you know what I mean? Like, it's just constantly, it's like hitting your head against a brick wall. Like, you're bleeding and shit, like, but you're still doing it, and it's not getting you anywhere. But once that mentality or that thought is no longer a part of the routine of your like of how you feel about yourself, it's really affecting a lot of houses in yourself, right? And so once that's gone, and I can't tell you what it is, this is up to you, this is the work you have to do, get rid of it. And once you get rid of it, everything else is going to come more smoothly. Like you're going to have a new partnership with a business, like a new business partner. I can see that already right now. That's going to come spring for sure. And like a new enterprise of sorts, that it won't be huge. It's not going to be huge right away. It's going to be small, but it's going to be new for you, and it's going to be something that's really good for you. And then I feel like there's going to be a relationship, maybe in a romantic or intimate sense, that actually blossoms once you're like happy within what you're doing with your business. Like all of that stuff just kind of comes at once. It sucks because it's like we go through times of despair where we feel completely like nothing's good is coming for us and we are drained, and it's just, you know what I mean, all the shit of the shit. And then all the other times it's like, and we are just begging for something good. Then we have like all of the good come at once so much we don't even know how to sometimes handle it, right? There's always an extreme and it sucks, but we just have to learn how to take it as it comes and where to apply it, you know what I mean, when it does, and appreciate it in a different way. You know, even like the only reason we appreciate having anything is because we've had nothing at some point. Like there's that, you know, that contrast. And so you got good things coming because you have the clover coming, and obviously that's great fortune. And then we have the seahorse with family matters where I feel like they're going to be resolved, like success with, you know, assured goals and like plans. So just like make sure that you set yourself some goals that you have to follow, like your own rules, you know what I mean? Because I feel like we all get too comfortable sometimes, and it's like that's where we start failing at certain things, because it's like we're supposed to always be ever growing and learning, and energy is always in motion. And so if we kind of feel like we're getting stuck, it's like, well, we're just sitting here in our physical and watching everything else happen around us, because it's never going to stop moving. So we have to learn how to integrate ourselves, or what is it called, acclimate back into it, from whatever depression spell we've been in, or you know what I mean? It's just not easy to fucking do. I mean, you can go to the grocery store, and like when I do, I like feel like my nervous system's like preparing to go into battle with the fucking lion in the gladiator stadium, you know what I mean? But I'm just going to the grocery store. So like it's just us. We have to learn how to fucking probably breathe properly and like just get ahead of our own, I guess, like more negative self, right? When it comes to encouragement, like it's a whole vibe, right? So if you benefit, let's say someone like says, hey, nice hair, or hey, your sweater's really cool, or whatever the compliment might be from especially a random person, you're like, that benefits so much, you know what I mean? It like hits different. And it's like, well, what if we could do that to ourselves? If it was, I know it's not easy, but it is what it is, you know, like just believe in yourself, right? And then we have peace and harmony with the wind chimes, and I feel like that's that kind of like bliss that you get from after this storm that you're kind of going through, which is almost over. And I know that you feel that, but it's like it feels like it's been forever, right? And then we have the moon. So definitely big changes coming in your life. And I feel like obviously I've said this at the beginning of the live, like what is, you know, in the dark will be brought to the light. It's just a thing. Hi Halo, what's going on? So hi everybody. Sorry, when I'm doing this I'm kind of just super focused. Well, I have to be, right? Tapped in. So triumph over troubles and obstacles in your life. And I love this for you, because like you do work really hard and you do love so many, like so deeply. It's like, it's different than just saying, oh, hey, you're my friend. Like people mean something to you. Like a relationship or connection of any kind means something super deep to you. And you just need to find the right people who respect and understand that without, you know, it being not like a positive. It has to be valued, okay? And then we have the mountain road. So you definitely have, like, look at that. Like you have come a long way, and you still have a long way to go, but you're still, know that you're still making it somewhere. You know what I mean? And it's really important to believe in yourself, because the light is inside all of us as well as the darkness, right? You can't have one without the other. It is what it is. So just use both to your advantage when you need to, you know? I mean, and I'm not saying go be an asshole because you got darkness in you. Just fucking learn where to apply certain things in your life, right? And to give what part of you, the dark or the light, to the certain people, and know that the consequences of both in this sense, right? For yourself and others. So you will be shown the way. Like I said, that light inside of you, like, you know, don't feel like you have to give up because you're not getting along with certain people or because of some sort of circumstance. It's like, you know, these are just lessons for us. These are things for us to go through to build our soul. It's just a build. It's just like, you know, renovation. So it's like, oh, I'm gonna start with this little beat up fucking little lemon of a house or a car, and over time I'm gonna put myself into it and build parts and lose parts and change things. And you know, in the end, you're gonna have a beautiful house that you wanted, but like it's gonna take a long fucking time and a lot of hard work and a lot of ups and downs. It's like we are building ourselves. You and you don't forget to create things, you know, don't forget to make yourself happy. Like, we are magic. You forget that. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but I'll explain. So it's like we create what we speak, we manifest our thoughts, and we project and attract what we feel. So therefore, you know, all of that combined is exactly all the stuff that you need to make magic happen. I mean, I don't know how else to explain that. How do you manifest? It's like the invisible creation. Well, I'm creating while I speak, so because my words mean something, and I'm putting it out there. And like I said, the universe only knows one answer. I mean, like, so bad thoughts, negative thoughts, like we can create a lot of fucking bad things for ourselves. But because no, that's okay. I'm not here to argue. I'm just telling you what I feel. You know what I mean? And that goes again for like this, I hate to bring it up, but like, you know, like religion and stuff. It's like, well, I'm not ever gonna like make someone feel uncomfortable for what they believe in. In fact, I'll always hear everyone out, because it's like, well, I've taken, and this, the things I believe in are things I've taken from, you know, other people into one big belief of what I believe in. And there's harmony in that, in a sense, but that's like what I believe. Like, you know, I'm native, so creator is what I call, you know, our version of God. But everybody's God is created from the idea from the same higher power, correct? And so I just think it's, you know, diversity into things, because you're going to absorb stuff, right? Oh, hi, Shami. How are you? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Right? Shami's in the house. This is beautiful. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it there. Your microphone, or the telephone, if you will. Like, why wouldn't I? Your microphone, or the telephone, if you will. Like, why wouldn't I tell you? This is a gift for you that I have. It's not. I don't know. That's how I feel. It's a gift. It's free to me. You know what I mean? And it makes me feel good about. I'm just reading whatever that is. Okay. So, anyways, these are really actually beautiful cards, and they're like gold gilded on the side. I think they're gorgeous. So we'll end Jamie's reading. Shami, these are your colors, hey? The gold and the green. You're gonna freak out when you a piece or two for Shamrock, and I'm so excited to send them to you. It's gonna be so great. You're gonna lose your mind. Yeah. Also, if anybody else wants, you know, like jewelry or anything, artwork, personalized, I can do that for you. So relationship is the first one that comes out, Jamie. And this for me is, well, it should be for you, for clarifying, like, things will be resolved. You know what I mean? Like in relationships and miscommunication, it's okay, you didn't miss much. I'm just babbling. You're good. But it's just saying, like, you know, things are, you have guides, and so that's what I mean. This and like life and finding, you know, everything, finding that balance. Some meditation, and you don't have to fucking do yoga and eat kale to meditate, okay? You can just, like, whatever your zen is, you know, like mine is like doing the dishes and looking out the window, or driving, or crafting, or like when I'm painting, like whatever helps you go, I guess, set into that meditative state, your zen, okay? Yeah, you don't have to do yoga. So do more research. So whatever it is that you're like, whatever's holding you back, and I want to say it's a little bit of inside research, but I still think that there is someone doing some meddling, anything that, of nostalgia, or just whatever that makes you feel good. You guys just make yourself happy a little bit, okay? Because I know that you're all either providers, or, you know, or you're being provided for, or everybody can resonate with certain situations and has some sort of a mutual element to them. You know what I mean? So just make sure that you're fucking being kind to yourselves, and that you find something that makes, so just as long as you're doing it and the outcome, you know, that's the important. It's lagging. Yeah, I know. I'm so sorry. I have the worst service. Like, I live in the middle of nowhere. I don't even have Wi-Fi. So I'm just doing the best that I can. So sorry. I did want to show you guys my new, I shouldn't do that. I did want to show you guys some of the new jewelry that I made, but it's probably harder to see. I'm going to show you, and then maybe we'll do like a beading stream in like a couple hours, because I gotta what time is it? 4 here. I got to do a couple things for like this morning and then I'll be free. So, oh, that won't even focus. It's going to be a butt. Anyways, you can't really see because my phone sucks, but anyways, they're really nicely done. I'm getting really good with the bands. Like these are all like high quality. They're none of it's cheap crap. Like I don't like that. When you make, you finish it with like a plastic bead or something. Like what's the whole point of that? And I'm a big fan on like real feathers, real crystals, real wire. Like I don't like that cheap shit. Ain't cool. Cool shit ain't cheap. I'm kidding. I'm really quite cheap, but you know what I'm saying. When it comes to the stuff that you love, don't cheap out on yourself, I guess. And yeah, I'm going to do your reading right now. I'm not going to leave you out. I didn't forget about you. All right, so we're going to clear the energy, and then we're going to continue. And then that'll be the last reading for just now, and then I'll come back on later and do some stuff with everybody. Let's put these back on. All righty. The commercial of interlude is over. So I hope that resonated, Jamie. I really hope that you feel good about it, hon. And I know that you're always very grateful and have a lot of that you benefit from it. Okay, so let me just tap in here. Okay, we're gonna clear this. Just sage it quick. Your energy is super strong all the time, Jamie, so it's lingering. Kidding. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, are you ready? I missed you too, Jane. I actually missed everybody, but it's good to take a break sometimes, you know. Go. I don't know if you're male or female. I don't know. You want a reading for your dad? I was gonna say, I don't know if this is a providing energy, a father energy. Just 1 second. Let me grab something here. These. Let me grab my energy balls. Clear that out a little bit. And the pendulum. Heck yes. Okay. Sorry, I just wanted to grab something. So these are energy balls. Yes, I said balls. So these are energy clearing balls. They're like more, you know, oriental. And then I grabbed my pendulum. And I actually never use this ever on here. And it's rose quartz. But I feel like I need to use it with your heart. I don't know if that makes any sense to you. And I know I'm weird. But I do know a few things about a few weird things. And I do want to ask your heart a few questions, or someone else's heart, actually, maybe, I think. It's just something about that. So just forgive me for walking away. And I'm going to use this because I feel like, I don't know why, but like, are you really anxious? Like, do you have panic attacks or anxiety attacks? Like, I just feel really worked up. Just trying to like find a little bit of like balance, ground you. Okay. Because if you want me to read for someone else through you, like that's also very difficult. So we just have to kind of calm this down a little bit. Okay. Interesting. Did you feel that? I have to ask you that. Did you feel any kind of vibration? And you don't like fib, don't show, like, I mean, I'm asking for real because, you know, I always test my own abilities as well. Okay, so you want to know what you need to focus on, having issues with what your dad has to say to you. Is your dad not, like, your dad passed away? Like, there's something about, like, the end of something. Like, so I'm not trying to, like, say, hey, I'm saying, is your dad, I'm having a hard time with this part of it. Like, because there's something, like, I know that your relationship's not great, so maybe that's what they mean by, but they're showing me just, like, turning away in darkness a little bit when it comes to energy. Like, the energy connection is gone for some reason. But I see the dead. So, I mean, is your dad, like, super religious? Because, like, sometimes it's hard for, yeah. I'm trying to find words. You come from a very strict household. Like, growing up, like, is that, like, you had to practice certain things, and like very much like if you did stuff, it was a disappointment or an about like you had to live a certain way or have to still uphold yourself a certain way that maybe be against like who you truly are, who you want to be. Forgive me if that's too bold to say, but I mean, just saying, you know, I think a lot of people face those kinds of challenges, especially with our loved ones, and we don't want to disappoint people. But if you, okay, so your dad's energy is coming in now. So having that be said, I mean, I feel like you feel like you haven't you haven't fulfilled the like expectations. This is where we're going back into that, the expectations that were of you in a sense for some, and it's not huge, but it's definitely enough to like make you're not feeling good about yourself, and it's making it hard for you to push through every day. Kind of in so many ways it's affecting you, and also the relationship, like, and you know, as a fucking, our dad is such an important part of our lives, you know what I mean, and who we are, and like our mother as well. Like when I lost my mom, I still don't feel the same. I've never felt right. I've never felt good. And my dad, he's my dad. He's great, but like he's works away. He's gone all the time. I'm also 35, so I mean, I don't call him for everything. And he's not an emotionally available person in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? He's not very emotionally mature. So, you know, that's it's hard when you lose something like that. That connection is very important. It's different to your dad. Okay, your dad passed away, because it was hard to find the energy. I'm like, I don't feel like he's like, it was very dim energy, like, because it's almost like you've pushed something down for so long that it's like you had to, like, it's like swallowing it into the dark and keeping it in a closet like we do a lot of the times with stuff it's hard for us to address or face, right? And absolutely, I can communicate for you. I do feel like there's an apology that needs to be had, but like it's mainly on his end. But I feel like it's because of how, are you stubborn? Are you really stubborn? Like both of you are very, like, it's, I'll show you kind of thing. But it's just, you know, and also he's like, I feel like a very manly man. Like he's a man's man, right? So he's like working hands, fucking dinner at 5, fucking go to work, dude, say like, you know what I mean? Like kind of routine and very much, you're trying to annoy me, but it's buffered. It's kind of funny, actually. He's a dog's dog. Okay, well, I'm just saying, like, you know what I'm like, I don't know. He gives me, like, I don't know how to explain this. Did your dad drink a lot? Like, was he just, I feel like he's very emotionally imbalanced, but I feel like it's because of how he was brought up as well that has a huge issue or influence. I know you miss him a lot. That's really, it's hard. I miss my mom every day of my life. I wish, I say it every day. You know, she passed away, I guess to be like a year and some ago now. And it was tragic and it was sudden. And it's like, we don't have like, it's really hard to, we don't get over it. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I mean, in the sense of like, I want to comfort you. So I'm gonna, like, I know that pain. Okay. But it's like, I don't know how to tell you to get over it, because, or not get over it, but like how to get past that like painful part of when you think about them, and when those kinds of things, it's like you go through your phases and you go through your emotions and you go through your grief stages, and not always it's never the same as anyone else's, so no one can tell us what to do or how to do it. And then when people try to start doing that and interfere, it also can create, you know, a definitely backtracking with any kind of forward fucking movement with that, right? He was on pills. The doctor gave him the wrong medication. Yeah, okay, that's, I did, honestly, and that's what I mean. Like, I would like to do a reading for you. I'll do, like, but my mom passed away kind of the same way, so I just want you to know that you're not alone, and I understand that, like, that there's no closure. Like, there's so many different thoughts, and, like, you know, guilt in our own weird ways settles in, and I could have done something, or, you know, like, there's just a lot with that, or, like, you want to put blame on things and people, and it's hard to, it's hard to do that, and it's also hard to go through, man. Like, my life's never been the same, and your life will never be the same, but you know that. I know I'm so trying to be insensitive, but it's like, fuck, man, how do I be the person, how do I be the full me without both of the people who made me? And, you know, having that phone call that you can't make anymore, and like just that all the shit you want to say, like there's just everything that comes with it. You know, I thought about doing, hey, like maybe I should go to like grief counseling or whatever. I tried it, and then I just already knew all the therapy tools because of what I've done in my life to take like schooling wise and doing this and just being gifted, I guess, and having to learn and navigate. But it doesn't matter who you are or what you do. It's just time. The only thing you can't calculate or control, really, like, you know, in a sense of like it's linear and it's just going to happen when it happens. And one day you'll just feel peace, you know, somewhere in all of that pain, and it will be what you want to hold on to. So then you shift your entire being around that glimmer of light or hope, you know, in a sense. All right, I'm going to look because I see you. I'm literally reading right now. I don't know why I'm in shit, but okay. So anyways, we do have, I feel like I need to get my spirit deck because you need to hear something from that deck, and it's beautiful, and I will be right back. It's just over here, I think it is. Alrighty, I got it. This is the Spirit Messages deck, and it's just like, I think it's lovely. Actually, should have brought it out earlier, but I didn't really feel the need to. Sorry, that was really loud. The depression, I want to address that, but I'm going to do it after we read these cards quick, okay? I want you to not worry so much about the things that you can't change because it's affecting your... We cannot control the future. We can make choices, but like we can't control it and the outcome. We can't change the past, and if we try to continuously do both of those things, then we aren't living in our current moments, you know, and like we're missing out a lot. And that's something I've had to like really kind of stop and think about lately as well. Sorry, I'm so quiet. I'm just taking it in. They're just showing me, I see like they show me like clips, videos, like little clips, blurbs, pictures, smells, sight, sounds, all that, like all the sensory shit. So I'm just kind of taking it, and they're showing me a little bit of your story is all. I'm not trying to be like ignore the chat or like I'm just channeling. So I feel like you need to work on like nourishing your inner child as well. I feel like in the sense of like you might have had big responsibilities or like had to be mature, like you didn't really get to be a kid. Like I get that. Like you kind of had big responsibilities like when you were little, right? And so, and or like you had to grow up really quick because your circumstances, right? Like that's unfortunate, but it happens to a lot of us. Just know it's how we come out of it. You know, it makes us who we are. It makes you strong. It makes you a good parent. It makes you all the things that, you know, you need to be, even though you didn't ever think you had to be, you know. But you're a good person. I feel like you really put a lot of yourself in everything you do, and this card will not fucking stop. Did you see that? Okay. Okay, so this is Reach Out. This is a nice card. And it really adamantly had to come out because it has been trying to this whole time. Like, so we know you're reaching out for help due to a current situation. Support is as much about the physical act of accepting help. Did I not just touch on this? Anyway, the cards are just going to clarify the shit I spit earlier. That's what they're for. Visual proof that I'm not nuts. Well, I am, but you know. So anyway, the physical act of accepting help where offered as is about the emotional benefits and learning that it is truly okay to accept support however it's presented to you. Jamie, that goes for you too. Okay, Shamrock, you too. Everyone else in here, you too. Okay, That's beautiful. And I mean, look at, this is kind of just like it's guiding and it's like kind of protecting your heart chakra a little bit, like being kind to yourself is very important too. This is really stupid, but like one of the therapy tactics I was taught, like I took psychology and I took, I was going to be a therapist. So it's so silly, but it's a good tool. Look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself you love yourself and nice things about yourself until it's not uncomfortable. Does that make sense? It's the most unfucking comfortable thing you're ever gonna do. I hate doing it, but like once a year, okay, maybe I should do it more too. Every once in a while, I'm like, okay, maybe I should resort to that if I'm having a fucking horrible time with myself, right? And I'm like, it kind of just I don't know how you have to do it, don't go play Bloody Mary with yourself. I'm just kidding. But it's just like, reflecting. It's like telling yourself those good things about yourself until it's not uncomfortable. Then you truly believe it when it's not uncomfortable. And then therefore you can start being it, doing it, feeling it, accepting it. I don't know. It's just, a little challenge for you if you want one. Little homework, I guess you would say. Okay, let's get another one. Hold on. Okay. As soon as I said nothing's coming out, we get everything. Okay, so we have relationships coming out after reaching out. So it's like, I think you need some clarity. I think you do talk, you're like, is anyone even listening? Like, I don't want you to feel invincible in your own world. You know what I mean? In your own skin, you can't be translucent. So it's, relationships are just I just fucking said this. Okay. Mirror images of your own life and how you feel and treat yourself, as well as how you react and respond to different situations and people around you. So be aware that every relationship is an opportunity for your soul's growth, just like I said before. It's like, it's a matter of just, cheers. Yeah, I like Rainier. I don't know. It's delicious and cheap. And you know what? I had a really horrible last couple days, and like bad news after bad news after. I'm allowed to have a drink. I'm a grown-ass fucking woman. So anyway, that's what I'm doing right now. Having a Rainier and reading for you because I need to give. I have been locked away in my house for a while being depressed, and it's not healthy. And so just know that like you're human and I'm human and I feel ya. Okay, I see you, I understand, and I want to be here for you if I can. So we do have new beginnings coming in, and I feel like that's where like nourishing your inner child too is kind of helpful when it comes to like, I want to plant this seed or nourish this, plant that needs watering. Just do that for yourself a little bit, and don't have people in your life that don't fucking reciprocate or like don't do that for you. They're like, oh, my poor plant is dying, I better let it die some more and just like not water it. No, you want people in your life who are like, oh, you look thirsty, you know what I mean? Like, I'll just give you a little drink and then you blossom again. And then just have the discernment of people in your life and what's good and not good for you, because you deserve the best, you know what I mean? So everything in life is constantly vibrating and moving. I just talked about that with energy. That's so cool. So, continuously changing and evolving, and be aware that a new beginning is on the horizon. So be like ready for this change because it's going to be exciting, and have courage and faith because right now life is trying to nudge you forward in a new direction. So like I said earlier, that spiritual cattle prod, the universe is going to make us uncomfortable to push us out of, they're going to make situations and people and things and throw those into the ring and say, hey, like, this is going to make you feel uncomfortable, but it's to move you out of your comfort zone that you won't go out of for your highest good and need and probably deep down want, right? So caregiver. So I don't know if you take care of somebody or somebody takes care of you, but I feel like you constantly give to other people. So I feel like that card is for you. You always have your little heart in your little hands just ready to like nourish and heal. I think you are a healer a little bit. But, in seeking kind of like knowledge or like-minded people or outlets or places or things to like try to understand more of yourself in a different way, or like, maybe you're being more woke. I hate that fucking word, but like, you know what I mean? Just like your eyes are more open to certain things, and your third eye too. So like listening to your intuition and all of the things, and like certain people that come to you, like, I mean, even like if you're empathic, then you're gonna have, like spirits will probably try to communicate. Like there's stuff like that, but just if you're not open to it, it's not, you know, you're not open to it. So just have an open mind, I suppose. And like, I'm glad that you're going and kind of looking for more information. I think it's really important to do that, especially if you have like a hunch to do so, or, you know, like an inclination. And it's like, you know, you're going to benefit further from that. You can only grow, right? So, or if you don't water yourself, obviously you're going to flounder, but you have to just do that. Okay, so we do have dealings or relationships with a man. And then we have deep personal strength and peace and assured to success. So I feel like when it comes to these cards, I would have to say that the good things to look forward to is like you're going to have some sort of closure within yourself that's necessary with your father in order for you to move forward in having and like being the man that you want to be. And like just kind of like, I guess maybe he wasn't the greatest example of what a man should be, and especially in a relationship. So I feel like you're trying to like get rid of, like you're trying to delete, control, delete, you know, you want to be something different and you want to do things differently, but you also know genetically you're still his son. And so like stuff that you just got to push through, right? And like, don't let what your expectations were of you make who you are. You are who you are unapologetically from here on out, okay? And then we have the goldfish. So like using your instincts, and like that is going to gain you like it's personal spiritual growth, but also like an increase in like your materials and shit like that, you know, like love, all the stuff that comes in abundance that means something of value to you in abundance. Okay. Then we have November. I'm not sure if that's a birthday or a significant month for you, or it's going to be, you know, past, present, or in the future, something significant in September. Maybe that too. Don't disregard September. Interesting. So November. Are you a Virgo? Anyway, so protection from a powerful friend. Okay. So you do have people looking out for you. Like, I think you know that, but you don't trust anybody, which is okay, but you are highly thought of. You know, people think so much more of you than you think of yourself. And I think all of us feel that way a little bit sometimes, you know? Your birthday's in February. Okay. Oh, hello everybody. Sorry, I'll say hi in a minute, but hi. So we have the flowers, so happiness. So I feel like you provide happiness and joy to people. Like you don't even know that you're doing it. It's not like you're like, oh, I'm gonna go do this all day long. You know what I mean? You just go out and you're like, it naturally happens. Like you just as who you are as a person is very much a recharge or rejuvenation or kind of like a little breath of fresh air for people. Like you have really great energy. And even when you're going through things, like you're very good at masking it. So people don't really know and you don't really let people in because of that trust, which is totally understandable. But like we got to find somebody you can trust to talk to, like more in depth about certain things, especially when it comes to like, you know, your spiritual awakenings and things like that. Like an outlet for you for that particular thing would be really beneficial. And if you're not ready for it yet, I mean, like, even just, like, YouTube videos and shit, you know, you don't have to, like, go and bring everybody into it. Like, you can just do it on your own. I also do, you know, help people through that and stuff. Like, I provide a few other, I do stuff. So if you want to get in touch, like, we can figure that out, too. I work with lots of clients and friends. So the most difficult part of a situation is over. I love this for you because it definitely has been difficult. Like, let's fucking be real, you know? And what you have had to go through and how it's happened and in the time frames it's happened, not many people would be able to survive that, okay? I'm going to tell you that. Like, and you look where you are. Look at who you've become. These are things that like are insanely important. Well, you can talk to me, like me, I could help you with some of these things. I mean, just somebody that you trust or that you feel, it's all about comfortability. Logically, it's like, do you trust this person enough to open up fully, to accept that help, or to be accept what they have to offer, and or find the right person for that? Like, what's compatible to my needs, and are they going to be respectful and understand? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you get compassionate. Like, there's so many things. Like, you're not a specimen. You shouldn't be treated as such. You know what I mean? You should have a comfortable environment and a trusting person to open up with big things too. You know, it's a huge thing. September. Oh, shut up, you guys. Look, what did I just say? I said September. Oh, you know what? This is why I love this, because I can't make it up. And like, this is why I always give my channeled message before I pull your cards, like even while I'm shuffling, before I've seen anything, because it's not the cards, it's me telling you. I mean, that's how you can believe. If anything, I hope so, because seeing is believing, but the cards are only visual proof for those who are skeptical to clarify what I've already said. That's how you can get people to believe, you know, that there's something. Some of us are genuine, some of us are true, some of us, I'm weird as fuck, man. I've had it my whole life try to figure out why I can see dead people. Why do I hear voices? Why can I see that person's energy? Why do I see that person's life? Why can I put, there's, you know what I mean, since I was a little kid. So if there's anything that you need to talk about, I can definitely probably have an open ear, right? And maybe some advice depending on the circumstance. But like, just know, you know, it's I can't make this up. And if it resonates with you, that's even better. I'm not normally wrong, but hey, you know, there's always room for that too at some point. So you never know. But September is coming out. It did come out. So we have the needle and thread. So you have a wish that's going to be granted. And I know that you sit there at night, like most people, and you're like, you know, nobody's listening, or my prayers are unanswered, or, but there is things that we do put out there and we're like, well, we'll see if it comes, you know what I mean? We kind of just brush it off, but we have to be that fuel behind it, like the gas, you know, the turbo, or the nos, if you will, like that boom, you know, to go. So it's like we have a lot more power than we think, you guys, is all I'm trying to say. And like, if you want something to come to fruition, you got to kind of like pretend you already have it, or that, you know, like that's the weirdest thing about manifesting is I can't lie. I don't like to lie. And like, I kind of have to lie to myself and pretend I have something I don't, you know. It's like reading for yourself when you have these abilities. It's like, I have to separate myself from myself to read myself. And it's hard to do that. You know what I mean? Because I have expectations. I have outcomes that I desire. So things like that get in the way of the ability to do that. So I have trusted people, even I go to, you know, but not everybody can read cards. Okay, they come with a deck and a book, all the stuff, but it's an intuitive read, or blind read, if you will, is my favorite, because the less I know about you, the better the reading will be. I mean, connections kind of affect that in a lot of ways too when you start becoming close with somebody. And or if you do readings for them every single day, because the energy doesn't really shift so much, right? But anyways, we do have the haystack. So karma, reap what you have sown. And this isn't a bad karma card in this deck. It's actually a good karma card. I mean, it can be bad, but because of the cards and the energy, it's not. This is more so the people who have done you wrong, that I know you sit there like, fuck, man. They just keep winning, and I keep, you know what I mean? And it sucks because you do watch assholes get ahead. I mean, everybody has that. We all watch assholes get ahead, right? It sucks because some of us are really, really good people, but like we feel like we get taken advantage of, and most of the time we do. But to a certain extent, you know, we have, if we allow it, people to access us that much, then we need to check ourselves too, right? So the haystack, though, with karma, it's like you've done things that have been good, so you have good karma, and bad karma are the same, but they're, you know what I mean? They're not. They're going to go around the same, is what I mean. So good karma, if you put good things out there, is going to come to you. Bad karma, same thing. But people have done some wrongs to you, and so I feel like, you know, there is going to be some penance for that, you know, like people are going to start reaping what they've sown. And if you have had some bad karma or done some bad things, like maybe you should clear that up quick, because it's going to cycle around. But if you've done good things, which I feel like you have, you know, you don't have much to worry about, right? You don't have a guilty conscience. So we have, you know, because if you do keep that mentality, or you allow people to win, you won't have success in the sense of like, you know, emotional turmoil or disagreements. Like you have to make sure that what you're building is of solidarity as well, so that it can't be, you know, if you go, it can't be burnt, a bridge that's like, you know, made of steel. So that kind of thing. Make sure that the quality of the materials that you're using to build your bridges or connections is of strength, and, you know, and fortitude, like all those things that you want to be strong and not breakable, right? Because that sucks when you have somebody important to you and you can't trust them, or it's just shitty. It's a shitty thing. Ooh, okay, last one. So we have the cup. So accepting valid criticism, and you also being brave enough to do this, like, to give valid criticism and like see, I want, like, this is kind of homework in a sense. So like seeing how other people react to certain things of you not giving so much, or you making some sort of change or reacting differently than they're used to, and see how they react, because it's gonna like, there's a lot of truths being sought right now from you, and I feel like it's definitely of external energies, you know. You're like, you're just kind of observing everybody, you're trying to figure everybody out and what part they play, and I'm really proud of you for that, because that discernment's very important, right? Okay, so I lied, we're gonna take another one. So like the ring, so having some sort of solidarity, right? Like a ring means, you know, like a marriage to something, or tarot's demonic, so is church. So okay, anyways, I don't disagree with you, but I also don't agree with you, so to each their own. So anyways, I'm just trying to say, like, you need to give yourself a little bit of a break though. Like, you can't be so hard on yourself, and you have people behind you that love you, and I know you feel it a little bit, but you need to feel it stronger. You need a bigger, better support system. And like I said, just comment on one of my videos and I will shoot you my email and we can connect, and I can do personal readings like that. I do have them available. If you guys are interested, just comment on one of my videos and we'll get in touch personally and we'll go from there. And I can explain, you know, a little more about myself and all that shit, so you don't feel uncomfortable. But anyways, I'm gonna go make coffee and I will talk to you guys in a couple hours. Streams? Well, here, I will, you can, oh, also, if you guys do have a channel, I'm so happy to have you drop your link so that people can subscribe and join and see what you're about. I'm happy to support other people. Everyone needs, that's what makes the world go round, right? Like, we need to support each other and like lift each other up. It's not going to affect me any by you gaining something. I love that for you, you know, beautiful. So it's important to not forget that either. What you put out, you know, what goes around comes around. That's another thing with that karma thing. Like, you know, I can be an asshole too. I am positive and all this shit, but like, I can be a bitch. And you know what? I choose, it's a choice is all it is. It's like, you can choose to make someone feel horrible, or like, I just treat people how I would like to be treated, because I know how it feels to not be treated well, or to be judged, or, and it's not necessary. Like, what is my saying? I know you've already beat yourself up about your insecurities all day long before even anyone has a comment about it. So you're not really doing any due diligence. You're just being a dickhead. So I choose to be in the middle. And I love you guys. Thank you for coming. Like I said, just get in touch. I'm here for you, and I will do a beating live in a few hours. And I'll also do a reading, because it's weird if I don't on here, I think. Okay, bye-bye.